And it's a celebration of where we will be going. You know, and our guest is the inimitable cultural ambassador. You know, she's a cultural ambassador. She's a terrific singer. Yeah. She's a musician. I mean, she learned the guitar in 6 months. You know, yeah, I read that. 6 months she taught herself the guitar, and she's ultra cool. I mean, I look at her and I'm thinking, I just want to be a bit cooler like that. She just has found herself, and she's comfortable in her own skin. Asha, thank you once again for being here.
Thank you.
I mean, quickly, so I can go finish, because the beauty, before I even go to specific songs, the beauty about this album is that you can't get tired of it. Not only are the songs individually so powerful, so beautiful, so deep, so musically complete in integrity. You know, you've got orchestra, you've got all kinds of people, and I've seen some of the most. I've seen some names that I've seen internationally playing with you there. You know, so it's a fantastic album, but also the flow, the way in which it was arranged, and all of that work. You know, how did all of that come about?
We had a team. We were working with an A&R and a couple of musicians, but the fun thing is everybody was so humble, and they saw that there was fresh air. They were interested, they were excited about working. So we came together and we started to, it wasn't easy because for 2 months I didn't want to sing after this. I was so, every note in my gut was brought out. We had a lot of ideas, but you know, they just picked the most simple. They wanted the most simple, not well sung or beautifully done. They didn't want that. They wanted the roughest, and you know. So we had these people come together. We sat down. All right, number one, where should it go? Why should it be number one? So that's how all this came about. So it was a teamwork.
I mean, it's an incredible, because you know, just the flow. It's seamless. And it just works perfectly. I did ask this question quickly before we come back to some issues that's been controversial in Nigeria that we must face up to. And that's the song about the mother. That's so beautiful. Incidentally, I remember you know, you came on the show years ago. And I remember the first time I heard you play. I cried, if you remember.
Yes, I do.
And I said to myself, my God, you know, this young woman is so talented. And you know, when you were singing the one about the mother, you told me it was about your mother. You also, the emotions, I could see the emotions that you were putting forth in that, and it's therefore great to see the song. Yeah, so beautiful. So tell me about So Beautiful.
Yeah, So Beautiful is about my mother. I was in Marseille on residence, and I was in a farm. I was living with some old couples, very lonely. And the first thing you hear in the morning is in France. I was so lonely, and I was thinking about my mother and everything, you know, she had done. Sometimes when I see my mom cry, I would cry, and I was in my mind that I would like to do something for this woman. So I sang the song, and everything was true. Yeah, I never saw my mom complain about her children. She gave up a lot. I mean, a lot of things she was supposed to do for herself, for us. We saw that. As a girl, I really appreciate my mother being with me, because there was certain things I would love a mother to do, but if she wasn't there, I don't know what I would have done. Maybe I would have been going with boys, been pregnant, blah, blah, blah. I remember my mom said, not like I was going to do that, but she always told me, always advised me, and I really appreciate that.
Right.
So that's why I did the song.
I'd like to ask that question quickly. We're talking about young people and youth here generally. I mean, I was reading an article recently by somebody who I really admire ordinarily. And of course, it was talking about girls again. I was talking about some girls in Unilag, you know, and it veered into prostitution and also. And I'm sick and tired of the image of girls in this country. I'm sick and tired of the image that is put forth of girls in this country. Number one, I know that that's not true, because not all girls are that way. In fact, I swear to you that it's a smaller percentage of the women in this country. I even also would like to put it to you that, well, this society has created those sort of girls. You know, so, however, in talking to a larger population of girls, particularly as we are raising girls, what do you think is important? You know, so that we don't, the other thing that is true for women though, is that at a point in a woman's life, if she's not careful, she anchors all her existence around malehood, either trying to attract, maintain, keep, or whatever the man. And it's good to have a man as a partner with you in your life, but not at the extent. Imagine if somebody like Asha never found herself because all she wanted to do was, do what one particular man wanted her to do. How do you teach a girl?
I think
how did you, for example, learn it?
Like I say, it was a personal decision. It was. Everybody, every child in the family, no matter how much love, they don't grow the same. So it's a decision you make. I looked at girls in my area, and they were doing all this, giving birth, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I didn't want to do it. Even though Asha is very inquisitive. I won't go there, but it was a decision. My mom has cried for some guy. I wouldn't let her cry for me. So it was my own personal decision. So I think it has to come from the parents. A lot of talk, a lot of advice. Don't do this. Just not what it should be.
Did it help, for example, knowing the truth about some of the difficulties your mother was going through?
It did help.
Because oftentimes mothers don't tell their daughters
They need to, really.
They don't tell their daughters the truth.
And they need to teach us about sex education, actually. Yeah. They need to. A lot of mothers are very shy.
Yeah.
My mom never spoke to me. She always used it in this ghetto style. Tabalo, fantastic, blah blah blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what I'm doing? Do you even know what I'm doing when you're not home? I'm like, okay, let me just pity this woman. I'll be a good girl.
So it's not about scaremongering.
No. We have to be friends with our children.
Yes, it's about
so they can tell you, because children keep the most secret. Children keep the most secret. You need to be open so that they can trust you, and when they say something, we need to teach the boys, the girls, because when they grow, they start to have feelings, and we don't want them to do things in hiding.
Right.
We don't want them to do it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave that matter strictly alone because it's a whole day's topic if we really want to go into it, because I feel strongly that I don't know how we came to this point, but we are seemingly growing a society that wants people to exist as non-emotional beings. So nobody wants to focus on, if somebody is going through something, let that person express it. And let's look at the different options of dealing with it. Don't tell me, don't even go there. I don't want to hear. That's how we are. Don't want to hear. Just don't do this. And so what they do is they do it. They just don't tell you. All right. Now to what you shouldn't do and what you should do. When all the controversy was happening, I never called you to speak about it.
Yeah.
I don't like, there are some things I never get involved in. My concern then was for her. I was thinking to myself that I need for this lady to get this thing together, so we get beyond all of this. But, I would not be a thorough journalist if I didn't ask you exactly what the story is, with question mark, and the album that was supposed to have happened that never did happen.